What's up everyone? Simon here. In this video we're going to talk about the Rolex 2023 release of some of the coolest models out, or maybe some of the updates that they have made. And in fact, the biggest update I think personally is the Rolex Daytona. That's right, it's been redesigned with a new movement, the 4131 movement, in-house since 2000. In this video we're going to get into it. Remember to like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's free. Let's get into the Rolex 2023 launch. Okay, so the Panda Rolex is out again. It looks slightly different with the 4131 movement, so we gotta discuss what has changed, what happens to the older movement, what is it gonna mean for pricing. There's a lot of things going on with Rolex recently also releasing their buyback certified reseller program, etc. So we're gonna have to talk about all these things and some of the new lineup. First and foremost is the Rolex Daytona. The bezel on the new Daytona, as you could see in the video here, has been recessed quite a little bit. So the Cerachrome bezel is a little bit different. The design inside the watch obviously is completely different and now offers a 72-hour power reserve, which is really neat. It's supposed to be more reliable. It's supposed to be easier to start up in terms of the watch sitting and start ticking. On top of that, the power reserve I think is a big upgrade. The reliability is touted with this new release, which is pretty nice. I never had any issues with any Rolex watch. However, that's good to hear that it's constantly improving. The revised dial does make the watch look like it's bigger than the 40mm case. However, it is not the case. Originally, when Rolex released the watch, the case looked bigger. We thought they were going to go to 41mm. They did not. It stays at a 40mm case. But because they revised the dial and made certain things thinner, that actually meant that the watch case may look bigger. The face is a little bit bigger. Now the 4131 movement is going to go across all the Daytonas. One thing I'm sad about is they've discontinued the gold Daytona green dial. For whatever reason, I was not able to get that watch. I was always on the list and just could never get that watch. I'm gonna miss it. No, I'm not probably gonna buy it on the used market, unfortunately. And by used market, I mean the gray market. So with the new redesigned case, dial, and new movement, they released a few different versions. There's a rose gold with like a, I would say almost a black dial. The big difference here is a platinum Daytona now has a see-through case back to showcase the new movement, which I thought was nice. I would have loved to see that on the stainless steel Daytona. That would have been a jaw dropper in my opinion. The new reference number is 126500 for all the new Daytonas. So we're gonna see how these things are accepted by the market. There's not too many changes except for what's internal. So I don't feel like they launched a entirely new lineup of watches or potentially timepieces, or there was nothing surprising. I was hoping to see a Rolex Coca-Cola that would compete with the Sprite, but that didn't come out. I think it's going to come out in the future. Rolex did release a very elegant 1908. I do love this watch. Personally, it's not my style. I believe Rolex to be a more sportier brand. The 1908 is technically competing with, say, Patek, or trying to get into that market. Very sophisticated, very elegant, beautiful watch. I mean, it's a gorgeous watch. Personally, not for me. If I was to get a 1908 style watch, I'd probably look at Vacheron, Constantine, Patek Philippe, maybe, you know, quite a few of those brands that are very similar, but I would not get a Rolex personally in that design or that type of style. So with the Rolex dial going with a careful redesign, not a drastic redesign, particularly on the Daytonas, there were some interesting dial watches that did come out with the 2023 collection. The Oyster Perpetual Bubble came out. I mean, this watch looks pretty cool. I do like how it looks. It's a little bit smaller on the wrist now. It does come in at 31, 36, and 41. It's probably going to be a hit for the collectors in the future. It's a fun looking watch. The dial is like a Tiffany style dial with a bunch of bubbles on there. It's really neat. I do find this watch to be kind of unique. It's a very classical look on a fun watch. Rolex also updated the Explorer 40 with a 40 millimeter larger edition versus the 39 millimeter edition. So it looks like Rolex is increasing their watch sizes, but not drastically. One interesting watch has been the GMT Master 2 in gold. I mean, this is all gold. It's a beautiful looking watch, but it does feature the Jubilee bracelet, which nobody thought would come out. A lot of people love it. A lot of people dislike it. Comment below what you think of the yellow gold Master 2 GMT with the Jubilee bracelet. Nice dial. There is a nice bezel to it. I mean, it looks gorgeous, but overall, does it fit? Of course, they have it in two-tone as well. And the GMTs can measure up to 3 time zones, which is pretty cool. So here's my overall take on the Rolex release. Yes, it's nice that there's a 4131 movement for Daytona, but there hasn't been a drastic release in the Daytona. I feel like they haven't changed from what worked, which is a hot, desirable Panda piece. In fact, looking up to see if the Rolex Panda prices have decreased since the launch, it looks to me that they're still hovering at about $33,000 or so used. That's a pretty good price. It doesn't look like they've dropped. Now, will they drop or not? I don't know. Right now, it's kind of a gray area because if it's discontinued, you can't get it anymore. So that may make it more desirable, but also there's a new movement. There might be a group of people that want the new movement. The GMT design with the Jubilee bracelet, that's all gold. That's a nice piece. Not my cup of tea. I don't know. I wouldn't spend that money on it. What I'm really upset about is Rolex phased out the green dial Daytona. I found that to be such a gorgeous piece. And I truly wanted that in my collection of Rolex watches. And now that it's not there, it's probably going to be impossible for me to get unless I do get it on the gray market. And I don't think I want to do that considering all of my Rolex watches are from an AD, which is an authorized distributor or dealer. So overall, let me know what you think in the comments about the Rolex 2023 release. Aside from the bubble watch, the 1908, the new Daytona movement, there is a new Sky Dweller as well that's launched. Of course, there's nothing unique about it or different, but there hasn't been a watch that I would say wow or a surprising release like we've seen the year before with, say, the GMT Sprite, which kind of shocked the world. It was a Rolex's left-hand watch. Now, I did end up getting that watch. I'm very lucky to get it. I find it to be beautiful and different. And one thing I love about, and someone else pointed this out that also sells watches, basically the crown on the Rolex watches tends to cut into your skin. And with the left-handed watch, that no longer happened. It was a smooth casing on this end, so when your wrist bends or when your watch slides down and your wrist bends, you would not get caught up in the skin. So that was a pretty neat watch, and it was different in my collection because my collection is full of Rolex watches and not other brands. So hopefully I do expand to Patek, but the 2023 launch, I'm going to say, was a 6 out of 10. I think it's great to have a new movement. I'm really upset about the Daytona green dial. Comment below if you feel the same way. Was there a wow factor to this launch? You let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, it's free. Let me know what you think.